Hi, my name is Rinat Kaufman. I'm a real estate agent here in the Bay Area, and today I would like to share with you some of the statistics and analysis of the current real estate market these days in the Bay Area. And I would like to share with you some information that comes straight from the MLS and to show you where the market is. So this is the most up-to-date information that is coming from the Aculis Daily in the MLS. And this information is an aggregation of the 5 counties that the MLS listings is using. So it's the San Mateo, Santa Clara, Santa Cruz, San Benito, and Monterey. So the initial data that I'm going to show you is aggregation of those 5 counties. So if we look at the overall chart, new sold versus canceled and withdrawn, we can see that this is the shelter-in-place time when we started the shelter-in-place in around March 17th. So we see the blue one is the new listing. We see there was a huge drop in the new listing that's coming in the market, but now it's kind of consistent, and also the number of homes that are getting sold. And we do see some canceled listings, but it's not too many as before. If we compare the canceled listing between last year and this year, then we can see that there was a huge increase of canceled listing in the market around the shelter-in-place, but then it dropped down, and it's kind of consistent. So people who are putting their homes in the market, they need to sell, they don't necessarily cancel their listings, and it's not that different from last year in March. If we look at the new homes in March, April this year and last year, if we compare those, then we can see that there is a definite increase. There is less inventory than last year, but there are still homes on the market and sellers are looking to sell. And if we are looking at sold listings, March this year and last year, then I would say that homes are selling. Homes are selling even after the shelter-in-place, but we do need to look at this chart again in a few weeks, because some of those homes that got sold during March, they were already in the pipeline before the shelter-in-place. So we need to revisit this chart in a few more weeks and see what is the average sold listing. Now, it's important to know the numbers. Let's deep down into Santa Clara County only. So if we look at the active single-family homes, this week, these are the numbers for the last 5 weeks. So this week, there was an increase of 75 new active listings in Santa Clara County only. And if we look at the numbers compared to previous years, then right now we are at the beginning of April. We have 820 homes compared to 1,300 last year. But if we look at the previous 2 years, then it's not that far off. And if we look at the active condo and townhouses, then this week there was an increase of 28 new listings of condos and townhouses in Santa Clara compared to previous year. And if we look at the number again this year, this is the beginning of April compared to previous years, and the number is not far off. Now let's compare this week in some of those areas in Santa Clara County compared to 2019, around this time when the market was very hot. So it's important to look at the change in the dollars amount, in the percent, and to look at the current inventory. So if we look at some of those areas, Blossom Valley, for example, there is a decrease of 6.5%, which translates to $70,000 less than compared to 2 years ago. In Cambrian, almost 4%. In Campbell, 8%, which is $140,000 less. In Sunnyvale, almost 5% less than 2 years ago. And then if we look at the 30-day average list price versus sell price, so the blue one is how much the homes were listed. This is an average of the 30 days, the last 30 days. And the orange one is how much it was sold for. So we can see that in all these areas, homes are still selling more than they were listed for. So in Blossom Valley, 9.5% sold price compared to list price. In Campbell and Cambrian, 7% to 8% more. In Sunnyvale, almost 10% more sold price versus list price. So buyers are still willing to pay a little bit more than what the houses are listed for. This is an average, of course. Now, let's look at the 3 weeks average sold price change. So these are the last 3 weeks in those areas, and let's look at the numbers. So if we take a deep look, we can see that in most of these areas, there was a drop in price. For example, in Cambrian, 2 weeks ago, it was 1.4. Now it's down to 1.3. This is an average. In Saratoga, a huge drop, 9%. In Campbell, 6% drop. In Sunnyvale, 50,000%, 50,000 K, 2% drop. So we can see that there is still some drop in price, but it's not huge. It's going down slowly. So if I need to summarize this, of course, I don't have a crystal ball and I don't know what's going to happen, but I see a window here. I think in the next few weeks, pricing may bleed a little further down and buyers have about 2 months window to secure lower pricing on homes. And once the shelter in place is lifted and we have conquered the coronavirus, demand will go up and pricing will jump. So if you're looking to buy an investment property or a house as your primary residence, the time to buy is when everyone else is panicking. So if I was a buyer, I would be shooting to be in contract to buy a house around May 1st. So that's it for today. That's the current data taken straight from the MLS. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me, give me a call or shoot me an email. I'm here to help. Thank you and have a great weekend.